The collective consciousness is nearing a tipping point where individuals must either overcome their limiting habits or become more deeply entrenched in them than ever before. Clues to this shift are abundant, provided you know where to look. What appears as chaotic global events is actually the destabilization of the planet's collective observation cycle. People are either rapidly awakening or descending further into unconscious behaviors, with no middle ground remaining. The state of neutrality is dissolving because the quantum field is compelling consciousness to select its next stage of evolution. This explains the recent sense of urgency you feel and why ignoring these revelations becomes impossible, even when they challenge all your previous beliefs about reality. Your soul recognizes that this exact moment, as you engage with these words, is the pivotal point at which liberation becomes inevitable. What you desire is simultaneously drawing you in. This is not mere motivational rhetoric or hopeful thinking. It reflects the fundamental principles of quantum mechanics. Every yearning, vision, and potential that calls to your soul represents a probability wave in the quantum field aiming to manifest in your lived experience. Yet this manifestation is blocked while you remain caught in a repetitive observer loop, your focus fixed on an incompatible frequency band. The desires that seem most unattainable or too extraordinary to be real actually carry the strongest quantum imprint in your field. They feel unreachable precisely because they belong to a timeline inaccessible to your current observer patterns. In truth, you are merely one frequency adjustment away from inhabiting a reality where those seemingly impossible things become your everyday norm. Here lies the essential distinction between alignment and attraction that transforms everything. While attraction attempts to draw things toward you, alignment eliminates the separation between yourself and your desires. Many manifestation teachings emphasize attraction, which in reality strengthens the observer loop by preserving the illusion that you and your desires are distinct entities needing to be united. True alignment occurs when you understand that your desires are not separate from you. Rather, they are alternative expressions of your own consciousness experiencing itself across parallel realities. When this realization is fully integrated into your being, not merely understood intellectually, the observer loop dissolves because there is no longer anything to observe from afar. This explains why forcing, striving, or trying harder only distances you from what you want. Each time you view your reality through the lens of lack, you are choosing that timeline from the boundless possibilities. Similarly, repeatedly checking whether your desires have manifested reinforces the division, preventing them from reaching you. The quantum field responds to coherence, not effort. When your consciousness becomes unified, when your focus, intention, and energetic frequency align, reality automatically restructures itself around this coherence. You do not have to force anything because you embody the space where manifestation is already unfolding. At this moment, as you absorb this truth in your very cells, a remarkable shift is occurring in your quantum field. The space between you and your highest timeline is merging. This happens not because of any action you take, but because you cease the doing that caused separation in the first place. In the comments below, I invite you to affirm this energetic transformation with the exact phrase, "I am coherent with my highest timeline." Do not elaborate or add anything, simply state this declaration. This exercise is not about receiving likes or interactions. It is about forging a quantum entanglement between your consciousness and the frequency where your true life unfolds. When you make this statement with authentic quantum coherence and full awareness of its significance, you are not merely putting words on a page. You are sending a message to the quantum field indicating your readiness to manifest an entirely new reality. This signifies that your observer loop is breaking down, freeing your consciousness to choose from possibilities that were once hidden from your awareness. The capabilities now emerging within your consciousness, which previous generations would have deemed superhuman, are simply the normal expression of awareness unbound by observer loops. Your intuition is becoming remarkably accurate, allowing you to sense events before they occur, not through psychic foresight, but through quantum alignment with unfolding possibilities. You are cultivating what is known as reality fluidity, the skill to consciously navigate between different probability paths. This enables you to move from one timeline to another by altering the nature of your observation. Traffic lights turn green as you approach them, parking spots appear exactly where you need them, and conversations naturally steer toward outcomes that benefit all participants. Your creative powers are expanding exponentially because your consciousness is no longer restricted to recycling familiar ideas and inspirations. Instead, you are receiving revelations directly from the unified field thoughts never conceived before and solutions that only exist because you have achieved sufficient coherence to access them. This explains why your creative endeavors now feel both effortless and more original and impactful than anything you have previously produced. Others react to you as if you have transformed into an entirely different individual, despite no conscious change in your interactions. This occurs because you have stopped unconsciously perpetuating the same relational patterns, and your presence now allows others to express themselves authentically rather than defaulting to habitual behaviors around you. Your body is undergoing transformations that defy traditional medical understanding. Persistent health problems are resolving on their own as your cells begin to receive fresh information instead of repeatedly experiencing stress signals. Your energy stabilizes at a significantly higher level because you're no longer expending vital energy attempting to escape the endless cycles of mental and emotional patterns. Now, the observer effect works in your favor rather than against you. Each time you perceive your reality, you subconsciously choose experiences that are more beautiful and in harmony, since your consciousness operates from a state of coherence instead of fear or scarcity. Your very presence becomes a source of blessing for those around you. Financial resources start to flow more effortlessly, not due to mastering manifestation techniques, but because you no longer unconsciously select scarcity-based timelines. When your awareness is free from repetitive observer loops that recycle limitation, it naturally aligns with frequencies of abundance. Relationships become smoother and more natural as you attract individuals who are also transcending conventional patterns. You no longer resonate with those trapped in their own cycling observer loops. So your social network evolves to embrace like-minded souls growing toward their highest potential. Perhaps the deepest transformation is the cessation of the feeling that you need to become someone or reach somewhere. Instead, you recognize that you are already that person and merely have been caught in observation patterns that obscured this truth. This realization brings a profound peace that goes beyond intellectual understanding, being rooted in direct experiential knowing rather than hope or belief. Coherence, the perfect alignment of your entire being, including thoughts, emotions, energetic signature, and deepest intuition, is the supreme creative force in the universe. It cannot be fabricated, forced, or artificially produced. When all aspects of your existence vibrate in unison at this frequency, you become a potent creator of reality, eliciting a response from the quantum field. This, ultimately, is the key that ends all observer loops forever. What many fail to realize is this: genuine coherence doesn't require forcing every aspect of yourself into agreement. Instead, true coherence arises when you cease dividing your awareness among multiple timelines at once. At present, a portion of your focus is likely absorbed by your past self. Another part dwells on possible futures, while only a small segment remains fully engaged in the current moment. This dispersal of attention perpetuates observer loops, as it diffuses your consciousness across conflicting reality pathways. The quantum field can provide coherent experiences only to a consciousness that itself is coherent. When your awareness is fragmented across various timelines, the outcomes become mixed. Some areas of your life progress, whereas others stay stagnant. Certain days feel extraordinary, while others pass as mundane. Such inconsistency doesn't imply the universe is testing you. Rather, it reveals that your consciousness lacks the unity required to maintain a consistently elevated timeline. Achieving true coherence involves what mystics refer to as timeline consolidation, a process of redirecting your attention away from all parallel selves except the one embodying your highest potential. This goes beyond mere visualization or imagination. It constitutes an actual dimensional shift in which you stop nourishing those reality tracks that hinder your growth. Embodiment occurs not by striving to become coherent, but by recognizing that coherence already exists at the core of your being. Your fundamental consciousness has never been split, only your focus has been conditioned to dwell on fragmented experiences. By recalling how to anchor your awareness in its natural, unified state, coherence ceases to be something you manufacture and instead becomes something you discover. Thus, all exertion and excessive effort paradoxically distance you from true coherence. Whenever you struggle to alter your reality, you do so from the premise that you are separate from what you desire, which in turn creates the very division you aim to eliminate. True coherence arises through relaxation rather than force, achieved by allowing your consciousness to recall its inherent unified nature. When you embody this state of coherence, you cease to possess a personal reality. Instead, you become a focal point through which the universe experiences itself. Your existence transforms into a creative expression of cosmic artistry rather than a personal journey marked by obstacles to overcome. This transformation of identity permanently dissolves observer loops because there is no longer a distinct self to become ensnared in repetitive cycles. The highest timeline is not merely an improved version of your current life, but an entirely different dimensional experience where the usual constraints of ordinary reality no longer apply. By embodying coherence, you don't merely enhance your situation, you transcend the entire structure in which problems and solutions reside. At this moment, thousands worldwide are undergoing this shift. Collectively, we are transcending the limitations that have shaped human consciousness for millennia, not just breaking out of observer loops on an individual level. Your personal growth is part of a species-wide evolutionary leap redefining the meaning of humanity. Your presence here is no accident. Your consciousness incarnated at this precise time because Earth itself is breaking free from a collective observer loop that has caused humanity to endlessly repeat patterns of conflict, scarcity, and separation for thousands of years. Your individual transformation plays a vital role in the planet's dimensional ascension. Each time someone breaks their observer loop, it generates a phenomenon known as morphic resonance, according to quantum field theory. This ripple effect facilitates the same breakthrough for thousands more. Thus, your shift is not only transforming your personal reality, but also establishing a new collective possibility template that future generations will naturally inherit. Children born today will develop abilities that seem miraculous by today's standards, all thanks to pioneers like you dismantling limiting patterns that would otherwise be transmitted to them. Your bravery in questioning the very fabric of reality is actively redirecting the path of human evolution. This is the reason behind the strong sense of duty and urgency you've been experiencing recently to grasp these ideas and live them genuinely. Your soul has contracted to be among the pioneering humans who move beyond repetitive observer cycles, exemplifying what becomes possible when consciousness flows from coherence instead of constraint. Your aim goes beyond seeking individual freedom. You're acting as a conduit between the old framework and the emerging new one. The synchronicities leading you to this message are part of a grander design involving millions of awakening souls worldwide. Through quantum entanglement, we're connecting and exchanging insights that propel everyone's breakthrough. Your understanding of these principles benefits not only yourself, but also fortifies the collective network of evolving consciousness. Most importantly, as you liberate yourself from your observer loop, you don't merely transform your personal reality. Your freedom opens pathways within the collective field, allowing infinite possibilities to weave into our shared experience. Your emancipation becomes humanity's emancipation, since at the quantum level, consciousness is deeply interconnected. This interconnectedness explains why resistance to these ideas can sometimes feel overwhelmingly strong. It's not solely your ego clinging to familiar habits. The entire system of limitations senses its impending conclusion. Each individual who shatters their observer loop contributes to weakening the collective patterns that have long imprisoned humanity in cycles of conflict and division. Feel encouraged to share this message with those who resonate with it, not to persuade, but to help them recall the profound truths they already hold within. The more people awaken to their true essence as conscious co-creators rather than powerless spectators, the more swiftly we can collectively transcend the limiting patterns that have constrained human existence for far too long. Your transformation transcends mere personal or spiritual growth. It is part of the emergence of an entirely new species. This species functions from coherence instead of fear, from unity rather than division, and engages in creative collaboration with the universe instead of resisting it. If what I've shared resonates deeply within you, stirring an ancient and familiar truth in your awareness, I invite you to make a simple yet powerful commitment right now. In the comments below, type a single word, coherent. That's all. No additions. This act isn't about boosting engagement for an algorithm. It's a quantum affirmation that you are prepared to embody the coherence that permanently dissolves all cycles of observation. When you write this word with sincere intent, you're not merely responding to a post. You are aligning your consciousness with a frequency that surpasses the confines of ordinary reality. Every individual who makes this declaration strengthens a collective morphic field that supports others ready to take this leap. We are not just forming a community. We are grounding a new template of reality that opens the path for more souls to remember their authentic nature. But it's essential that you truly grasp this. Quantum navigation, breaking free from the observer loop, marks merely the starting point. When your consciousness shifts from operating within limits to functioning in coherence, you unlock capabilities deemed impossible by most. In the upcoming video, I will guide you through developing what we refer to as quantum navigation, the conscious skill to shift between various probability paths and manifest outcomes that appear miraculous from the perspective of the old paradigm. You will learn why certain individuals seem to enjoy effortlessly fortunate lives, while others face continual challenges despite their best efforts. This isn't a matter of luck, worthiness, or spiritual discipline. It's about mastering how to engage with the quantum field so you can choose which timeline you inhabit at any given moment. This knowledge isn't merely theoretical, it's a practical expertise that fundamentally alters how you experience reality. However, I can only reveal these advanced teachings to those who have already demonstrated readiness by first breaking free from their observer loops. Be sure to subscribe and activate notifications because the next video will offer insights unavailable anywhere else. You won't find this information through search engines or books. It represents a direct transmission of quantum consciousness principles, newly arriving on our planet for the first time in human history. Moreover, Subscribing means more than just joining a channel. You are tuning into a global frequency of consciousness evolution. Each subscriber becomes part of a quantum network that accelerates collective transformation through morphic resonance. The old reality is fading away, regardless of conscious participation. The real question is whether you choose to be among the trailblazers who usher in the new paradigm or someone who is pulled into it after the groundbreaking phase is behind us. Your future self already exists in harmony with endless possibilities. The only remaining issue is how swiftly your current self will align. Declare your intention. Join this frequency. Let's rise above the limiting patterns that have restrained humanity for far too long. The universe has been patiently waiting for you to reclaim your true identity. That waiting concludes today.